Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. Alright, so I wanted to start today's video off readdressing this concept of XRP going to $10,000. I know this has resurfaced once again, and originally we talked about this in 2019, and this concept keeps popping up every now and then. As you guys can see here, I have done a few videos on this, but you know what now, guys? It's 2023, and it's almost the end of 2023, and so I wanted to kind of go over this because this has, come up again. Has anything changed? We're going to go over the original concept, the original video, taking a look at some of the things that we were talking about way back when. And we're going to analyze this and, see if this is a possibility and when. I mean, that's the other thing, right? When could we see an XRP worth $10,000 if, in fact, this is for real? So Michael Branch brought this article up. Firstly, the financial markets have always thrived on speculation, conjecture, and the promise of potential. XRP, the cryptocurrency closely linked to Ripple, is often the subject of significant debate amongst investors and analysts. One discussion that refuses to die down is the possibility of XRP reaching $10,000, and that's why we're here today. So this article just launches into it. XRP was fundamentally designed to be a bridge for central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. Well, I mean, it wasn't originally designed just for that, but this is just another use case that adds on to the value for XRP. As the world moves towards digital financial systems, CBDCs are becoming increasingly relevant, requiring a bridge currency for efficient and quick settlements. So here we have it, guys. Enter XRP. Now, the other thing is we have to remember that XRP is not going to be the only token in existence that is going to serve all this money. However, it is positioned to be one of the central ones, to be one of the main ones. So let's not assume we're looking at every single dollar is going to be moved through XRP. However, let's assume a large portion will be. So consider the limitations of supply. This goes on to talk about supply. There are currently around 100 billion XRP tokens in existence. Well, that may seem like a lot. Let's not forget, we're talking about serving as a bridge for all the global transactions involving CBDCs. Now, again, that is a very lofty goal, but it's not to say that Ripple can't do it. And it's not to say that the number can't be $10,000. I know there's a lot of naysayers out there saying, it can't even mathematically go to $10,000. So this was originally tweeted out by Lord XRP here, and they're talking about this idea of a mere $10 XRP would fall drastically short of providing the liquidity necessary to handle the volume of transactions, but at a price of $10,000 or more, however, XRP could provide the liquidity needed for such a vast interconnected digital financial system. And so, guys, that's not terribly off base. Now, we've gotten a lot of social media influencers, YouTubers talking about this. Even one of my favorites, one of the OGs here, Modern Investor, did talk about this a little bit in his video. And, he's a bit of a skeptic. He's saying, well, a lot of the bigwigs at these cryptocurrency companies have actually stopped, giving price predictions. And, the fact that Ripple is giving a price prediction, he's assuming that, somebody at Ripple is giving this price prediction, that this would be ludicrous. Now, I don't know. I haven't heard of anybody from Ripple actually saying a $10,000 XRP is predicted. That's the official prediction of Ripple. Nobody is saying that, at least not that I'm aware of. But guys, it does bring me back to this original video and this original article here written by Mark Phillips. Now, I outlined this in 2019. I wanted to go over it with you guys once again, and then we're going to talk about some of the updates. What has occurred since 2019? What has changed? And should we consider this as being more of a realistic concept today than in 2019? When XRP was created, it was designed to be a replacement for both institutional and retail financial systems in every market around the world. How do we know this? An examination of how XRP is constructed makes this evident. A somewhat famous quote from Ripple Labs co-founder Arthur Brito provides a tantalizing clue. In 2017, he wrote, "XRP must be scalable to accommodate 7.5 billion people." And guys, I did a video on that a few days ago, that quote. Arthur Brito has essentially stated, not so directly, that XRP should be able to help facilitate the world's transactions. And so Phillips states, we'll come back to that quote a little later. Right now, he wants to examine the main features of XRP that support his claim that it was designed to carry a value of $10,000 per XRP. So liquidity and availability. XRP's primary use case is to enable cross-border payments that are faster, cheaper, and more reliable than existing systems such as Swift. We know that. So on Ripple's own Insights blog, Shanna Leonard explains how XRP is the only digital asset specifically designed for financial institutions and payment providers, by providing them with a reliable on-demand source of liquidity for cross-border payments. According to Investopedia, liquidity describes the degree to which an asset or security can be quickly bought or sold in the market without affecting the asset's price. Now, I know that'll sound counterintuitive kind of as we go through this, but I'll try to explain it to the best of my ability. What we see in today's market is price volatility as a relatively small number of investors buy and sell XRP on exchanges. So that's what we're seeing currently, right? We don't necessarily have the liquidity that we need at this moment, and so that's why you're seeing, even with small transactions, we're starting to see price rise and decrease very rapidly, and that's kind of been the story of the entire crypto market to date. There just isn't the liquidity. I'm just going to stop it there, guys. At that time, there wasn't the liquidity, but enter 2023, and Ripple has, in fact, worked very, very hard to increase liquidity for XRP. So we know increased liquidity is, part of their game, part of their game plan, and they've been successful at doing this. They've been partnering up with exchanges. New products are now available. And in 2023, Ripple now has more methods to deliver XRP liquidity. All right, let me continue. So liquidity for XRP or any crypto comes as the price rises. Higher prices equals higher liquidity. The fact that Ripple Labs locked up, okay, so then it talks about the escrow, the 55% of total in a time-released way has been disciplined in relocking the unsold portion. So again, the escrow is not to screw us out of our millions, guys. The escrow is to mitigate the buying and selling. When this thing scales at max potential, the prices will rise, but we can't see drastic increases and decreases and increases and decreases. The price will rise eventually with the liquidity. And again, the escrow is to help mitigate that. And Ripple is saying, look, we're doing this escrow thing to kind of help that as we kind of move through this process. So in the previous 6 months, XRP's prices range from 25 cents to 60 cents, which represents a 120% range either side of the median. Even though this is a massive movement, it is not problematic for institutional use because XRP's fast 1 to 5 second settlement times. So what is problematic, however, is that the price movement was driven by relatively small retail investments. So again, there was the lack of liquidity, right? To move value on the scale of Swift's $5 trillion of daily transactions requires much more liquidity than is available in today's XRP pool. If some 45 billion XRP are available, this would require a price of approximately $111. We know that some of the XRP supply has been burnt or lost, and much larger percentage is probably locked up as long-term investors hold XRP, such as you and I, guys. Thus, an even smaller supply of XRP requires an even higher price to provide the minimum liquidity to accommodate Swift. So right now, because of the lack of liquidity, XRP cannot facilitate these transactions, and this is why they are setting up liquidity pools around the globe. They're partnering with Coins.ph, BitSo, BITRUE, so on and so forth. And they're continuing to partner with even more liquidity providers to be able to have these liquidity pools placed around the globe in order for this to happen. Wow. I mean, 2019 sure was a different time. Again, I'm going to stop it there for a second. Notice how we're talking about Ripple building liquidity. Since then, guys, of course, we have seen a lot of different things happen, like on-demand liquidity. Well, that's a start, right? XRapid, XCurrent, the X products from Ripple, they did rebrand. I think it was in late 2019, early 2020. They did rebrand to on-demand liquidity. So that is a, well, not so new now, but that wasn't, even on the table when Mark Phillips originally wrote that article, a brand new way to deliver liquidity at an institutional pace. Also, guys, let's not forget the line of credit that, we really don't talk about a lot, but Ripple does offer this product for clients, a line of credit, so that they could borrow XRP to be more liquid in certain cases. So this came out in 2020 also. The line of credit at that time was a new beta service on RippleNet that allows customers using on-demand liquidity to source capital on demand to initiate cross-border payments at scale using the digital asset XRP. So to be able to borrow XRP in order to be more liquid, obviously this is helping these institutional grade players fulfill what they need to fulfill. All right, I'm going to continue with this video, guys. Listen up. Sufficiently high enough price for companies to be able to transact efficiently and effectively amongst each other. So how high can this go? If the entire 1.14 trillion value of all asset classes was tokenized via XRP, that would require at least 11,400 per XRP. Okay, this isn't likely to happen, but it demonstrates the scale of liquidity that XRP is designed to handle. So, all value asset classes valued at 1.14 trillion. Let's say in 10 years, everything becomes tokenized. Everybody's on the XRP train. We could possibly see an XRP at 11,000 theoretically. But what about the other end? So divisibility. In his briefish history of XRP, James Hunt noted that there is a max supply of 100 billion XRP being divisible by 6 decimal places, meaning that the smallest unit, one drop, is 1/1,000,000th of 1 XRP. Why would XRP designers make the token so divisible? At a value of 31 cents, this is absurd, of course, right? After all, who could possibly require the use of 1/1,000,000th of 31 cents? But at a much higher token value, and this is the thing, when XRP was created, and the same with Bitcoin, okay? Bitcoin divisibility, I'm just going to talk about this for a second here. Bitcoin divisibility, this is why some refer to infinite divisibility, because we can select the level that we need as time goes on. So this is for Bitcoin. The current level selected is the code by Satoshi, and that is at 8 decimal places. So 1 Bitcoin can be divisible by 8 decimal places. So 0.000000001 BTC is 1 Satoshi. That is the smallest possible unit, and that is embedded directly in the code. What they are saying, though, is that Bitcoin is theoretically infinite in its divisibility. And I'm not a big coder or anything like that, but I'm sure that has to do with the code and changes that would need to occur with the code. But getting back to XRP here, the fact that they have made XRP divisible to 5 decimal spots just goes to show you that it is meant to be used as a token of high value in order to facilitate these transactions. We got to remember, guys, XRP was designed out of Bitcoin's failures. We saw how Bitcoin failed over the years, and now the masterminds behind XRP are creating a token, or have rather created a token that has fixed all those mistakes. So they have made it divisible by 5 decimal spots, and Mark Phillips describes this here, but at a much higher token value, say $10,000 per XRP, that divisibility makes sense for 2 reasons: low transaction costs and affordability for small retail use. And as we know, XRP is touted as being a solution for the unbanked, also for micropayments. Okay, so divisibility. A couple of times in this clip I did say by 5 decimal spots, but what I did mean was 6 decimal spots. Now, why would XRP be divisible by so much? Of course, 31 cents. At the time of that recording, XRP was at 31 cents. Now it's roughly trading in around 50 cents, so not too much difference. We really don't need the divisibility, but when you're thinking about use cases, real-world utility, once it is liquid, as it is becoming day after day, becoming more liquid, when we do see an XRP at such a high price, well, that divisibility is going to be important. The other thing that I wanted to mention too was, and I got laughed at by Galgatron. I got to say, there was a point in time when Galgatron, he took a look at my video and he was like, no, absolutely not. There's absolutely no way XRP can get to $10,000. Now, this was back in 2019, but I mentioned inflation, and I mentioned hyperinflation, and of course at the time, that was even before the beer flu, we had not seen the type of inflation that we have seen today. And I mean, at that time I was giving an outlandish hyperinflation example, but guys, are we so far off from that today in 2023? Things have gotten way more expensive. Groceries on average are up 30 to 40% in some areas. Gasoline is up. As you guys know, just the cost of living, everything is up way more, and things just cost more. And it's not because things are actually costing more, it's because the value of our dollar is getting less and less. So to you, Galgatron, yes, inflation is a thing in 2023. And, even though you did not want to acknowledge it back in 2019, that inflation could get so crazy, I still think that this could be just the beginning, and that we could see, even worse inflation. And so, an XRP valued at $10,000 US, well, what's a US dollar really going to be worth in 2025, 2030, and beyond? This is something we also have to think about, right? But that aside, guys, we also have all these huge partnerships that just occurred this past year, 2023, ISDA. This just happened a few weeks ago. Ripple Labs does now have a membership. Ripple's mission is to build breakthrough crypto solutions for a world without economic borders. So this is their preview page. Through blockchain technology, Ripple enables global financial institutions, businesses, governments, and developers to move, manage, and tokenize value, helping to unlock greater economic opportunity, enabling the world to move move value like it moves information today. And guys, the ISDA, the home of derivatives. Now, let me remind you how big the derivatives market is. And this was as of November of 2022, all the world's money and markets in one visualization. And so I love showing this because it really is good to visualize how much money there is in the world and, what certain things are worth. Like at Sam Bankman-Fried's, the peak of his net worth, he was only worth one of these little squares here, $100 billion. Then we have sports teams, cryptocurrency. So at the crypto peak, a $3 trillion market, that was it. That was what crypto was worth. Russian and Ukrainian GDPs comparatively, military spending comparatively for each country, currencies for each country, gold in jewelry, bars and coins, central banks, so on and so forth. We got the world's billionaires' wealth here. And so, guys, this just gets greater and greater, and I'm not going to go over all of it, but I will link it in the description for you guys. Global debt, we got here governments, the financial sector, household income, global real estate, which is another big one. But check out down here, guys, the thing that the ISDA does, derivatives. Each square represents, what was it, 100 billion? Yeah, each square represents $100 billion. And when you just scroll down and you take a look at some of the world's wealth, and then you bring it down to derivative products, well, you can see down here, the derivatives market is huge. According to the BIS, the market value of derivatives is now $12.4 trillion. So, at this time, we were not even considering Ripple and derivatives, even though, people had talked about it. So, a $10,000 XRP to move not just the world's money, not just, all the tokenization that's going to happen on the XRPL. Remember, in 2023, Ripple did just forge a new relationship with Hong Kong. Yes, something to do with a central bank digital currency, but also murmurings of tokenizing real estate. And yeah, that is just in Hong Kong. But, even when we just take a look at real estate, global real estate worldwide, just residential real estate, so this excludes all the commercial real estate and all the other types of real estate out there, the value of the world's real estate is estimated to be $326 trillion. So guys, as you can see, this number can get very, very high very, very quickly. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention was the fact that David Schwartz did recently say that the world could, in fact, have two global reserve currencies. And there are some inclinations that XRP could be one of them. Now, for the US dollar, the global reserve currency that has been the global reserve for the last 100 years or so, I wanted to get some info on that. So I took a look at this BIS paper down here, just kind of wanting to get some numbers with regards to how much the US dollar in 2019, these are 2019 numbers, how much the US dollar moved in terms of being that global reserve currency. And so in a footnote down here, the BIS took a look at some of these researchers' findings, and they used the same technique as we do, they say, and they found that the dollar zone share of the world GDP to be about 60%. So US dollar moving 60% of the world's GDP. We bring you to this, guys, 96.51 trillion. These are 2021 numbers. So 60%, let's even just say a global reserve currency, 60% of that, 96.51 times 60%. And what do we got, guys? We have about $57.9 trillion just in volume that the US dollar has moved in 1 year and 1 year alone. Now, again, if there is two global reserve currencies, you divide that by two, and that's still almost $29 trillion. But you layer it, guys, you layer it upon layer upon layer. Derivatives, global reserve currency, real estate. And think about all the other use cases, the ones that I haven't even talked about, the ones that we discuss on this channel day in and day out. All these use cases, guys, are cumulative. And even if XRP only gets a portion of the market, I think we have to pay attention to how big this market is. Need I remind you how much money Swift even handles on a yearly basis? About $1.25 quadrillion a year. According to this document from the U.S. Treasury, Swift handles about $5 trillion per day, or given about 250 business days per year, about $1.25 quadrillion a year. So even if Ripple, even if XRP took a portion of that, guys, we layer this on top of the exorbitant numbers that we already have. Ripple working very, very hard to build that liquidity, and I think they've come a long way since 2019. So yeah, is $10,000 doable? I still think it is, but that's just my opinion. Tell me down in the comments what you guys think, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.